Enter the dark, magical world of the House of Night. A world very much like our own, except here, vampires have always existed. 16-year-old Zoey Redbird has just been marked as a fledgling vampire and joins the House of Night, a school where she will train to become an adult vampire. That is, if she makes it through the change. And not all of those who are marked do. It sucks to begin a new life, especially away from her friends, and on top of that, Zoe is no average fledgling. She has been chosen as special by the vampire goddess Nyx. Zoe discovers that she has amazing powers, but along with her powers comes bloodlust and an unfortunate ability to imprint her human ex-boyfriend. To add to her stress, she is not the only fledgling at the House of Night with special powers. When she discovers that the leader of the Dark Daughters, the school's most elite group, is misusing her goddess-given gifts, Zoe must look deep within herself for the courage to embrace her destiny, with a little help from her new vampire friends.
That's what you're gonna say.
What's up, my homies? This is Snacker with K, Lolo, and Zip.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell us what we're going to be reading, Kay?
I would love to tell us what we're going to be reading. Today we will be reading a House of Night novel, the first installment, Marked, by PC and Kristen Cass.
Do you know why we're reading it?
Oh yeah, I do know why we're reading it. It's because it's bad. Chapter 1. Just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse, I saw the dead guy standing next to my locker. Kayla was talking nonstop in her usual K-babble, and she didn't even notice him. At first. Actually, now that I think about it, no one else noticed him until he spoke, which is tragically more evidence of my freakish inability to fit in. No, but Zoe, I swear to God, Heath didn't get that drunk after the game. You really shouldn't be so hard on him. Yeah, I said absently. Sure. Then I coughed. Again. I felt like crap. I must be coming down with what Mr. Wise, my more than slightly insane AP biology teacher, called the teenage plague. If I died, would it get me out of my geometry test tomorrow? One could only hope.
No, we're gonna make you do it in your grave. Good luck with that.
The American school system. Zoe, please. Are you even listening? I think he only had, 4, I don't know, maybe 6 beers, and maybe 3 shots. But that's totally beside the point. He probably wouldn't even have had hardly any if your stupid parents hadn't made you go home right after the game. 3 shots actually isn't that much.
Yeah, I also like to point out, though, she's making this sound like she's not even doing any favors to this guy. She could have been I
don't know, 2 or 3 beers. Maybe a shot.
Not even 3. You've just been you only had 2 beers, dude.
And a shot.
And 1 shot.
She's not even trying to help.
He's not even buzzed. She's just he had 4, maybe 6, and 3 shots. And it's so he got half drunk. And then he got more drunk.
We shared a long-suffering look in total agreement about the latest injustice committed against me by my mom and the step-loser she'd married 3 really long years ago. Then, after barely half a breath break, Kay was back with the babbling.
Alright, I have quite a few notes now.
Oh, you're writing notes?
Yeah.
Writing notes.
Ooh, I like that. Because Lolo...
You've never taken notes.
Lolo, as opposed to Zip and I, is new to the House of Night book.
Not me.
I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to.
It is the House of Night.
All I know is...
Pay attention.
Tell us your notes.
All I know is that I'm filled with questions that aren't necessary after reading the synopsis.
Oh.
It's I'm questioning the synopsis. Are you sure that's what this is about?
Are you sure there's
Oh
vampires?
yeah, it starts pretty boring.
It's kind of slow.
But as we are, I wrote some keywords to hit from that first page. So I'd like to talk about the dead guy. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, not
so
slightly.
She doesn't even touch on it more either.
I know that vampires are a thing in this world, but I'm assuming it's not just normal in society for people to fucking die. They're like,
Whoa.
oh, look there's the dead guy, obviously. He's like, his head's falling off. He's by my
Oh, no.
locker.
Well, I mean, you'll find out.
My poor me. Poor me. And my locker smells like death now, and it's his fault.
Wait, okay,
Let me-
is
allow me
that,
to-
is that
let-
me segueing to the victim complex? I looked at your notes.
Yeah.
Poor me.
What an inconvenience to I.
Oh, yeah.
Cough.
She gets so much worse.
It gets worse. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna super hate it.
So, I mean, we know she has a victim complex already. She's like, wow, my mom got married to make herself happy because she probably isn't. What an inconvenience.
And now
to
I'm
me.
sad. What?
Don't worry. It explains. It gets into pretty good detail. It's coming up.
Okay.
It's there.
I also want to know what they mean when they took a breath break. Did they
She
both
didn't-
just stop and go,
No, it was just her. She went.
Yeah, that's
You know
what
that-
K-Bubble sounds like. I
Thank
should
you
know.
for the clarification. I needed that. I'm ready for the
Okay.
next page.
Okay. So what we just finished saying was, Keith, not Heath, it's Heath.
It's Heath.
Heath.
Heath
Heath
Farce.
Bar.
Heath
Oh.
got messed up. Cause,
How much beer does it take to intoxicate someone? I
I
know
don't
some people
know.
have like a higher tolerance. I heard that's a myth, but I don't know.
he's young though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so, Heath got drunk at the game or whatever.
Party.
Right, party after the game.
Mhm.
Plus, he was celebrating. I mean, we beat Union. Kay shook my shoulders and put her face close to mine. Hello, your boyfriend. My almost boyfriend. I corrected her. Shut the fuck up, bitch, okay? He's my almost boyfriend.
Oh, she's gonna hit her with one of those.
I'm hard to get. Okay.
I corrected her, trying my best not to cough on her.
Toss on her on purpose.
Just like, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, what the fuck's with their coughing thing? She's like,
You'll see. They'll explain.
okay.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It actually makes sense, which is impressive for PC and Chris and Kaz.
I'll put that on a tally. Okay, small victories.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make
Alright.
a tally.
Okay, Lolo.
Maybe she has
On your
asthma.
On your notes, we'll do a tally. You'll see.
We'll have
you'll
to see.
We'll do a tally thing. We'll see. We'll put a tally for bad writing.
And we'll put a tally for okay. Not good. Good isn't good enough.
Okay.
Okay, writing. All right.
I want to count how many times she coughs. She's already done it twice.
You're
I
not
counted.
gonna want to.
No, I just
Take
can we put
shots.
it? Yeah.
Every time she coughs.
Do you want,
Okay.
Do you want me to put a cough tally?
Yeah, I want a cough tally.
All right, here we go.
Cough.
By the end of the chapter, we'll see what happens.
Put down 2. We're already there.
Okay, 1, 2. And
Okay.
for bad writing, I might as well just.
No, don't do that. Okay, ladies.
Okay,
Focus.
all right.
Here we go. Back to it. Whatever. Oh no, it's Kayla talking. Sorry, I give Zoe kind of this sound, and Kayla more of a little sound.
That's how Babel sounds.
Whatever. Heath is our quarterback, so of course he's going to celebrate. It's been like 1,000,000 years since Broken Arrow beat Union. 16. Don't punch with the air.
Go ahead.
I'm crappy at math, but Kay's math impairment makes me look like a genius. Again, whatever. The point is, he was happy. You should give the boy a break.
No.
The point is that he was wasted for like the 15th time this week. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go out with a guy whose main focus in life has changed from trying to play college football to trying to chug a 6-pack without puking.
Hey, wait a minute.
He already chugged a 6-pack, so nice try. Not to mention the fact that he's going to get fat from all that beer.
No, hold on.
What is it?
What the fuck's wrong with being fat?
No. That's all I was gonna get
Write it
at.
in your notes. Write it in your notes and we'll talk about it.
Shit. What was the? Just let me see that real quick.
You're taking the book for me. Okay.
Okay. It didn't say 15th. It said 5th.
The 5th?
Fifth time.
That takes
'Cause-
that question out.
Because I was like, can't you get?
Oh, fuck. Did I say 15th?
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was like, can't you
Oh.
only get drunk like once a day? Like, once you're drunk, isn't that it? You're
That's
drunk
it.
for
Already?
the day.
Oh, fuck.
So, I was like, can't you only get drunk 7 times in
To
a
be
week?
fair, I see an F and I think 15 because it's my favorite number. So shut
I know.
Okay, so my mistake. Sorry, guys.
That's
So,
okay.
the 5th time this week, which makes sense. Imagine if you got drunk 15 times in a week, though.
I was gonna
I don't think that's possible, though.
inquire about that.
Oh, good. Good thing that Zip
I
figured
already
it up.
did.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
in your notes too?
15 fucking
I
times.
scribbled the one out.
Go on, please.
Okay, so fat from all the beer. I had to pause to cough. Oh, look, you could put a little telly in your cough.
It's just make a cough sound every time you tell me.
Fuck, I lost my place because I looked at your telly.
Look for cough. It might be everywhere.
It's different.
There. I was feeling a little dizzy and forced myself to take slow, deep breaths when the coughing fit was over. Not that K-Babble noticed. That bitch. Ew, he's fat. And it's like italicized fat. Fat. Not a visual I want.
Whoa.
I managed to ignore another urge to cough. She didn't cough that time.
Oh, can I put a
But they
half
said
tally
cough.
mark?
No, they said cough anyway.
Yeah, they said
Are
cough.
they counting when they say cough?
Yeah, because
Yes.
they keep bringing up how much she wants to cough.
You're right.
You don't need to do
Okay.
that.
Yeah. You got.
And 5
She's
times in 2 pages doesn't seem
she's
good.
fucking asthmatic.
Lolo, you're asthmatic.
I don't cough as much as she does.
Okay.
You'll see, that looks funny.
Oh fuck.
Look for cough.
I'm really good at losing my place. Okay, I managed to ignore another urge to cough. And kissing him is like sucking on alcohol-soaked feet. Kay scrunched up her face. Okay, sick. Too bad he's so hot. I rolled my eyes, not bothering to try to hide my annoyance at her typical shallowness. That
hypocrite.
We're gonna
Her
get
shallowness.
Write that down.
We're getting through these pages, guys. Okay, you're so grumpy when you're sick. Anyway, you have no idea how lost puppy-like Heath looked after you ignored him at lunch. He couldn't even... And then it's like she's... Ellipses. Then I saw him. The dead guy. Okay, I realized pretty quick that he wasn't technically dead. He was undead, or unhuman, whatever. Scientists said one thing, people said another. But the end result was the same. There was no mistaking what he was. And even if I hadn't felt the power and darkness that radiated from him, there was no frickin' way I could miss his mark. The sapphire blue crescent moon on his forehead, and the additional tattooing of entwining knotwork that framed his equally blue eyes. He was a vampire, spelled with a Y instead of an I, and worse, he was a tracker. Well, crap! Exclamation point. He was standing by my locker. And then, Zoey, you're so not listening to me. Then the vampire spoke, and his ceremonial words slicked across the space between us. Dangerous and seductive, like blood mixed with melted chocolate.
Aren't they 15?
Yeah, they're like 15, 16, I think.
Yes. They're 16.
They're 16?
Seduce me, daddy vampire.
With a Y.
Vampire.
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 Okay, like blood mixed with melted chocolate, which is,
Oh,
sexy.
So seductive.
There's nothing better than the taste of pennies in my mouth.
Zoe Montgomery, night has chosen thee. Thy death will be thy birth. Night calls to thee. Hearken to her sweet voice. Your destiny awaits you at the house of night. He lifted
blows a kiss.
Who let him into the school?
I don't know.
He just walked in. It's a public school.
Is he just like leaning on? It's just like look at what?
He's just standing there like this,
awkwardly next to the. Oh yeah, like a big
All
muscly like
creepy.
WWE fighter.
You know how crocodiles stay with their mouths wide open. That's how he's standing there. Yeah, go on, please.
Wait.
Oh.
Can you read him with a Mickey Mouse voice?
Oh, yeah. Wait, can I use my Boston accent that I used to use for Kayla?
No, he's already done.
Oh.
He's already done.
Oh, yeah, he's already done. That's right. That's it.
Shit.
That's right. That's his last line.
Yeah, he's not in it after this.
That's
Fuck.
so sad.
Yeah, I'm sad.
I was so attached to him as a character.
I'll read someone else with the Mickey Mouse voice, I promise.
Okay.
But only if they have one line like he did.
Okay, so any characters of color?
Fuck. Good one. Okay, here we go. Your destiny awaits you at the House of Night. He lifted one... you're gonna do the thing. He lifted one long white finger and pointed at me.
No, I should point my finger.
Look at the way she bends her finger.
I can do that.
You can...
No! I can...
They're lifting two long, regular colored fingers at me. And it's hilarious. Okay. He lifted one long white finger and pointed at me. I need some water.
Yeah. Go ahead. Drink some water.
As my forehead exploded in pain, Kayla...
It's like we're exploded.
As my forehead exploded in pain, Kayla opened her mouth and screamed. When the bright splotches finally cleared from my eyes, I looked up to see Kay's colorless face staring down at me. As usual, I said the first ridiculous thing that came to mind. Kay, your eyes are popping out of your head like a fish.
What great observation.
You're so good at looking at things.
So her eyes just like migrate to the sides of her face.
Like a fish.
Like a fish. Like an actual fish.
That her ability to look into fine detail is immaculate.
Zoe, you're incredible.
So impressive.
Wow, is this the protagonist?
So
This is already such an amazing protagonist. We're so lucky to have someone who has such a hard life.
I hate her. I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Focus, ladies, focus.
It's gonna get better.
He marked you. Shut up. He marked you. Oh, Zoe, you have the outline of that thing on your forehead. It's a crescent moon.
Yeah.
It's just a moon. Then she pressed a shaking hand against her white lips, unsuccessfully trying to hold back a sob.
Why is everything so white?
Why is everything so white?
And pale.
Well,
Can you just sob a little longer?
Was that good?
Yeah, I think that was pretty. I got the feelings from it that I needed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I sat up and coughed. I had a killer headache. I coughed. Right down in your little... I sat up and coughed. I had a killer headache, and I rubbed at the spot right between my eyebrows. It stung as if a wasp had bit me and radiated pain down around my eyes, all the way across my cheekbones. I felt like I might puke. That does sound kind of painful.
Yeah.
I also like to point out that,
Wow, look at our...
Does that
poor
count as good? Does that count as okay writing?
No.
Okay.
I just
Describing
it's
pain.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's meh.
I think we should have added some bad.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to add the bad. It's all bad.
I think we should just color in a whole block.
Just do a little face.
Fuck, where was I?
Anyway, also the moons are right here? I thought they were up here.
I think they're up there.
Why'd
They
you
probably
rub it
have like a unibrow with that
A
thing.
moon unibrow.
Moonibrow.
Okay, Zoe! Kay was really crying now and had to speak between wet little hiccups. Oh my god! That's creepy, don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
That guy was a tracker! A vampire tracker! Kay, I blinked hard, trying to clear the pain from my head. Stop crying. You know I hate it when you cry.
What a caring friend who just rolled her eyes at her friend.
I know you're going through a lot, but fucking knock it off. Knock that shit off right now.
I know, right?
And I swear to God, if one more tear goes down your face, I'll give you something to cry about.
You're gonna be the dead guy next to my locker.
Dead guy. Vampire.
Okay, here we go. I hate it when you cry. I reached out to attempt a comforting pat on her shoulders, and she automatically cringed and moved away from me. Too bad,
It's
two
the
shoulders. Both of them.
Both
Both of them went away.
She patted both her shoulders like, it's okay.
There. Why would she use both hands?
Exactly.
That's covering.
And she automatically cringed and moved away from me. I couldn't believe it. She actually cringed, like she was afraid of me. She must have seen the hurt in my eyes because
or like she's watching a Try Not to Cringe compilation.
She must have seen the hurt in my eyes because she instantly started a string of breathless K-babble. Oh, God! Zoe, what are you going to do? You can't go to that place. You can't be one of those things. This can't be happening. Who am I supposed to go to all of our football games with?
Poor me.
They're both terrible.
Poor me. This is such an inconvenience.
Damn
to
it, Zoe!
me.
Get that fucking moon off your head and be a human again.
That reminds me of the sticker joke we made last
Who the
time.
hell's gonna drive me home from the football game? Zoe!
You have the car, bitch!
You can't do this to me!
How do you know she had a car?
I said it. And
I
that's just
actually
a funny
didn't
joke.
remember
Oh.
that she had a car. I guess
Remember?
women's intuition.
Women's intuition.
Hold on.
No.
She said remember.
That's the word.
She said I didn't remember she had a car.
Lolo's never read the book.
Yeah, that's why she said remember.
She didn't
I
mean...
said-
I don't think she meant to.
Did you read this book?
No!
The truth come out.
No! Kate just said, I said there was a car, and I said I didn't remember.
Yeah,
You
I
said there
said
was a
that.
car.
I said there was a car after you said the right thing. Okay, shush. Focus, Zip. Focus on the important things, which is this book.
Maybe you should work on your
Critical
looking
thinking.
into fine detail.
Yeah, like
skill.
Zoe.
Yeah, like Zoe.
I
Okay.
feel insulted.
Focus, ladies. Here we go. Fuck. Guys, guess what happened? I fucking lost my place.
Poor
Oh,
me.
that's right. All of our football games with. I noticed that all during her tirade, she didn't once move any closer to me. I clamped down on the sick hurt feeling inside that threatened to make me burst into tears. You guys are not speaking until I'm finished with this page.
No, I just think why would she move closer?
Well, you know, to like comfort her. I would hug Lolo. Or
I
you.
deserve hugs.
I wouldn't want to be hugged. My face is hurting.
I'm in pain. Fuck off, bitch.
Don't touch me.
Okay, we have to focus.
Okay.
I said you weren't gonna talk.
It was just gonna be a little off-handed thing.
Fuck. I clamped down on the sick hurt feeling inside that threatened to make me burst into tears. Stop clicking your pen.
Sorry.
My eyes dried instantly. I was good at hiding tears. I should be. I'd had 3 years to get good at it. It's okay. I'll figure this out. What are you doing?
Bitch.
Oh, sorry. Your movement made me nervous.
I'm just gonna go stock still like a mannequin.
Fuck. It's okay. I'll figure this out. It's probably some ellipses. Some bizarre mistake. I
What?
lied.
What are they gonna do? Take it off her forehead?
They're
Stupid.
like, oh yeah, you
I'm
weren't
just
supposed
gonna rub that off real quick with my fist.
They just take a knife and cut the skin off her forehead.
Oh, Jesus! You weren't
I
supposed
might
to be
look
the vampire.
horrifyingly destroyed, but at least I
I'm
can
not a
still
vamp.
take you to the football game.
Come on. Go on, hurry. Lola's making her notes and we need to hear them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Looking around, I felt, no, wait, where the fuck? Some bizarre mistake. I lied. I wasn't really talking. I was just making words come out of my mouth. Still grimacing at the pain in my head, I stood up. Looking around, I felt a small measure of relief that Kay and I were the only ones in the math hall, and then I had to choke back what I knew was hysterical laughter. Had I not been totally psycho about the geometry test from hell scheduled for tomorrow, and had run back to my locker to get my book so I could attempt to obsessively and pointlessly study tonight, the tracker would have found me standing outside in front of the school with the majority of the 1,300 kids who went to Broken Arrow South Intermediate High School, waiting for what my stupid Barbie clone sister liked to smugly call the big yellow limos. I have a car, but standing around with the less fortunate who have to ride the buses is a time-honored tradition. Not to mention an excellent way to check out who's hitting on who. As it was, there was only one other kid in the math hall. A tall, thin-looking dork with messed-up teeth, which I could unfortunately see too much of because he was standing there with his mouth flapping
You
open,
fucking bitch.
staring at me like I'd just given birth to a litter of flying pigs.
Okay,
Because you
so
are
that's
a
a
fucking
pig.
Okay,
pig.
so that's
fucking
a pig.
bitch.
Yeah, she's terrible, right? It gets so much worse in the
I don't know who
next
that boy
page.
is, but that's my boy now. And I'm gonna slit her fucking, like, neck off. I don't know.
Now draw
Gone.
Neck removed. Next is gone.
Your neck privileges have
Okay.
been revoked.
Okay, that's a page. Let's hear it, Lolo. Let's
Oh,
hear
yeah,
the
let's hear your
synopsis
Okay.
so far. You got a lot, so
You
let's
got a
get
lot of
through it.
notes.
Let's get
They
through
are-
it pretty quickly.
I think it's important to point out that they're explaining away a lot of abusive tendencies already. Like, Heath's drinking.
Mhm.
That's a genuine issue.
Mhm.
This kid's like what, fucking
Especially
15,
at his age,
16?
exactly.
Yeah, he's 16.
Like, yeah, I'm assuming he's around there, but like,
And
if he's drinking 5 out of 7 times a week instead of 15, if he's drunk off his ass, more likely than not, why isn't the school caught it?
That's true. Especially since it's happening right after the games.
Yeah, it's like they have parties and shit, and if he's drunk every fucking day, like, I'm assuming he's like Sundays, GG day, no drinking, praise the Lord, and maybe let's say Wednesdays. Wednesdays he has math. He's like, I can't drink on math day.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not Saturday? He doesn't drink on the weekends.
Oh,
That sounds
I'm
bad.
Maybe
sure
he doesn't
he
drink
drinks
on-
on the
he
weekends.
definitely drinks on
Yeah.
Saturday.
So let's say Sunday and Wednesday are his days he does not drink. Why
Monday,
hasn't
Tuesday,
anyone
Friday.
caught it?
Monday,
Yeah,
Why
Tuesday,
and
hasn't
even
anyone
if-
caught it?
And if they did, are they just ignoring it?
They're like, yeah,
He's
it's
a
better when he's
quarterback.
drunk.
Quarterback, exactly. So that's how schools are sometimes. Like, oh,
Like
there's a
that
quarterback, we
guy,
can't
like
mess
that
up
guy
there.
that was a swimmer in his school, and he like totally raped a girl, and the judge was like,
Oh my
What the
god.
fuck?
sending him to jail will ruin his swimming career.
Jesus, my god.
That
I know
happened.
what he
You're
did
gonna
was
make this-
terrible, and he scarred her, and it's a complete offense
But think
to
about
humanity.
his
But what
career.
about him?
That's how it is. Like, and they're
I really
normalizing-
like
well, they're not
competitive
really.
swimming.
I think
Swim
That's
faster.
actually-
How fast can your arms paddle you to the other side of the concrete?
you are
As
not
you're
drowning.
submerged in water.
I think one thing about that though is that like the protagonist is treating it like it's a bad thing. The character, you're supposed to agree with the protagonist. So her being like, ew, he's getting drunk all the fucking time is gross. So like you're reading the book, of course you're gonna be like, yeah, the protagonist is right.
Yeah.
The other characters are being stupid about this.
Yeah, I mean, just to flip the coin, what if he's actually not drunk that often, and our protagonist is just being a dramatic
It's
little
just like he's-
bitch?
Yeah, because
she's
like what
not
Kayla said.
She's not a reliable. She's not a
Source.
reliable source at all.
Yeah, because what Kayla said was that he was celebrating, which is like, yeah, kids drink sometimes. I get that. Just celebrate.
Yeah,
But more
What's the-
notes.
What's the legal drinking age in Oklahoma?
I don't know. We'll have to look that up later.
Okay.
More
go on.
notes. Lolo.
13. No, I'm kidding. All right. Next, we've already kind of fat shaming.
Oh, fat shaming. Mm-hmm.
They
You're gonna get a lot of shaming of everything in this fucking
literally
book.
everything.
wow. These intolerant little pieces
they're
of genuine shit.
They're the worst.
It gets worse.
so much worse.
Like wait till she gets to the fucking vampire school.
Wait until you
Vampire
fucking-
school.
Wait until you meet Elliot.
She's like, obviously, if you have any weight on you, if you don't look like you're anorexic,
You're
And
gross.
if I don't see you at least 5
No,
times
hold
a
on.
day
No, hold
in
on.
the bathroom, fingers down your throat,
No,
something's
hold on.
wrong.
Hold on, listen. She hates anorexic people.
Oh yeah, she hates anorexic people.
wow, you're just nitpicky, bitch. You're just nitpicky.
And don't forget how she feels about fairly thin people.
Yeah, she's like, you can't be skinny. You can't be fat.
Yeah,
You have to look
and this
like Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way.
and
Oh my god.
let me put this into perspective. We've only gotten to the 4th page of
How
an
many
entire
pages are in-
series.
12 books.
In this chapter.
There are let's see, there are
Like
a few pages, not too many. There's 20 pages in the page.
Oh, motherfucker.
in the chapter, I mean.
This is gonna be so long.
Okay. So any
okay.
more notes?
I mean, shallow. They're shallow.
Yeah, they're shallow.
I don't think that
I think it's hypocritical of her to call Kayla shallow.
When she just called Heath fat.
But she's
Yeah.
already an unreliable narrator.
Yeah,
Like,
she's the worst.
She was just the one that pointed out, hey, he's gonna get fat drinking all that beer, implying that she doesn't want to date a fat guy.
Yeah.
And then Kayla said, ew, fat? Man,
yeah,
he's
they're
hot.
both like, ew, fat people.
Yeah, like, I guess,
I think these
to be
books...
fair, you started it first.
These books are from, like, the early 2000s, I think, so, like, of course they weren't as, like...
Body positive.
Yeah, as we are now, but, like, still, to be like, ew, he's gonna be fat is so fucked up, just, like, in and of itself, and they're always doing that, and it's the worst.
You know, I wish I was in this book, because I'd just be like, what was that? And she'd go, oh my god, she's gonna sit on me! Oh my god! And she would, like, run
she's
away.
the worst.
If you were in this book, actually, you know what? We'll just let it get to that.
Oh yeah, let's
okay.
So let's just jump right in.
Again. Okay. Where was I?
I don't know.
Fuck.
Barbie clones.
Oh, no.
Barbie
We were at... Oh, that whole
past
fucking
that.
thing was so...
Oh, right, we were talking about the dweeb with the fucked up teeth.
flying pigs. She gave
My poor boy.
birth to a litter of
My
flying
husband,
pigs.
my child,
Oh,
my
hey.
anything he wants to be.
Dad was a skinny teenager, and he didn't have good teeth when he was young, so that pisses me off a bit.
I gotta say...
Genetics, bitch.
Okay.
I gotta say, that shit pisses me off.
Okay. And... Where we go? I hope you have your cough tally ready, because I coughed again. This time, a really wet, disgusting cough. Oh god. That was pretty good. The dork made
it. Another arm.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
I have no muscle.
I have a little bit right
Okay,
now.
focus,
Yeah,
ladies.
Ladies.
Ladies. Shut the fuck up. The dork made a squeaky little sound and scuttled down the hall to Mrs. Stoned.
That was the squeaky sound.
I liked it. And scuttled down the hall to Mrs. Day's room, clutching a flatboard to his bony chest. Guess the chess club had changed its meeting time to Mondays after school.
The chest club?
Here we go.
The
chest.
The chess club, because he's so obsessed with chests.
We compare our chests in this club.
They just
Mine's just
slap it.
Mine's just the boniest.
Whichever one like bruises first is the loser.
Okay.
My collarbone pops out of place. Can yours do that?
I can do this.
Ew. Okay. Focus.
I don't like that.
Okay.
No, I don't want to touch that.
This is the best part in the entire book.
Take a big breath.
Already on page 5?
Oh,
Well,
that was sarcasm.
oh, sorry, my bad.
Here we go.
I'll rephrase.
Do vampires play chess? Were there vampire dorks? How about Barbie-like vampire cheerleaders? Did any vampires play in the band? Were there vampire emos with their guy-wearing girls' pants weirdness and those awful bangs that cover half their faces? Or were they all those freaky goth kids who didn't like to bathe much? Was I going to turn into a goth kid? Or what? Or worse, an emo? I didn't particularly like wearing black, at least not exclusively. I wasn't feeling a sudden and unfortunate aversion to soap and water, nor did I have an obsessive desire to change my hairstyle and wear too much eyeliner. All this whirled through my mind while I felt another little hysterical bubble of laughter try to escape from my throat, and was almost thankful when it came out as a cough instead.
You got through it a lot better that time.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm sure Lolo recognizes that.
Yeah. I noticed your voice got a little higher for her. And also, fuck that bitch.
She's the worst. Yeah, I make my voice higher.
She's like,
when I get
wow,
more
I've
annoyed.
never felt the need to do anything that makes me unique as a person.
I've never wanted to be this horrible stereotype that I assume all of these people in these cliques are.
Maybe goth people are depressed. You ever think of that, Zoe?
Bitch.
She probably say depression.
About my crippling depression and anxiety, Zoe.
Stop eating candy, guys.
I'm in.
Zoe would tell me depression's fake.
Okay, so, Zoe, are you okay? Kayla's voice sounded too high.
No,
like,
it's, Zoe, are you okay?
Kayla's voice sounded too high, like someone was pinching her.
That's how I tell people.
And she and she'd taken another step away from me. Fuck off, bitch!
She's
You got
like
a moon on your head.
She just jumps away fighting characters, like jumps aside. Like,
Oh Jesus! I sighed and felt my first sliver of anger ever.
in my life.
It wasn't like, it doesn't say ever, but like that's how it's worded. Like my first sliver of anger, not even like at that moment. My first ever ringer. It wasn't like I've asked for this. Kay and I had been best friends since 3rd grade, and now she was looking at me like I had turned into a monster.
Because you did.
Vampires are technically monsters.
Bitch. Also implying you weren't already a monster. Very interesting.
Kayla, it's just me. The same me I was 2 seconds ago, and 2 hours ago, and 2 days ago, and 2 years ago, and 20 millennia ago.
Dude,
we made that joke the first time we read this.
Really?
Yeah, we're like, and 2 months ago, and 2 years ago, and 2
infinity
Decades ago.
The same me was 2 seconds. Okay, I made a frustrated gesture toward my throbbing head. This doesn't change who I am. Kay's eyes teared up again, but thankfully her cell phone started singing Madonna's Material Girl. Automatically, she glanced at the caller ID. I could tell by her rabbit in the headlights expression that it was her boyfriend Jared, who we never hear from again.
I was gonna make that joke. I was gonna say, and then we never hear him again.
Yeah, this is the only time he's mentioned.
They're
and
definitely
then he fucking
pieces
died,
of
I
work.
guess.
It's a shirt.
I love that shirt.
Yeah, that shirt also.
Yeehaw.
Go on, I said in a flat, tired voice.
Go on.
Go on.
Do it.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on, then.
Please.
Ride home with him.
Right.
Her look of relief was like a slap in my face. Call me later, she threw over her shoulder as she beat a hasty retreat at the side door.
I need a ride home.
That sounds so fucking
She's
casual.
getting a ride home
From
with
her boyfriend.
Oh, but
Who doesn't exist after this.
Who's gonna give me rides? Jared's gone now too. Fuck!
Why'd they write him out the book?
what an inconvenience for me.
Oof.
Or ma.
She threw over the retreat out the side door. I watched her rush across the east lawn to the parking lot. I could see that she just booking it, like sprinting as fast as she can.
Someone's hunting her.
I could see that she had her cell phone smashed to her ear and was talking in animated little bursts to Jared. Nobody talks in bursts. I'm sure she was already telling him I was turning into a monster. The problem, of course, was that turning into a monster was the brighter of my 2 choices. Choice number 1, I turn into a vampire, with a Y, which equals a monster in just about any human's mind. Choice number 2, my body rejects the change, and I die.
I like that choice.
Sounds like you don't got a lot of choices there, bitch.
I like
Forever.
that choice.
It's not like fake die
Yeah,
with vampires.
she doesn't have a choice in this. It's just whatever happens. She has an outcome that she isn't sure.
Why not?
There's 2 options that she has 0 control over.
Yeah, they're not options. They're more just like things that are gonna happen.
It's fucking just
Or they
reality,
Yeah.
dummy.
It's more like I don't know a word for it. I hope that maybe
It is
possibly
not a choice. Bad writing, Telly.
Yay!
I would also like to point out, what do I want to point out? Never mind, I forgot.
Guys, stop talking. I'm trying to find my place.
Sorry.
Okay, I found it.
She took you.
Oh. So the good news is that I wouldn't have to take that geometry test tomorrow. The bad news
Can you
was...
get over that?
Yeah, it's geometry and it's school. You have to take tests.
I got a C in geometry.
Fucking
Good for you.
I failed
A squared
algebra.
plus B squared equals C squared, dummy.
I failed algebra, but I got a C in geometry.
90-degree angles, stupid.
Yeah, stupid. I also graduated at the top of my class.
Good for you. Okay.
Subtle those.
Now shut up, flexer.
That's not flexing.
The bad news was that I'd have to move into the House of Night, a private boarding school in Tulsa's Midtown known by all my friends as the Vampire Finishing School, where I would spend the next 4 years going through bizarre and unnameable physical changes, as well as a total and permanent life shakeup.
It's like puberty.
Please don't speak until I'm finished with the
But
page.
I just said what I wanted to say.
Fuck! What?
Oh shit, you made me forget.
Oh my god.
Oh, that makes me.
Think for
Oh yeah, why do vampires keep marking people? They're immortal.
Hey, yeah, why do they keep marking people?
They like to be inconveniences to bitches like
Oh,
her.
well, maybe it's because some of them just die. Because they don't become vampires.
They commit swim poo-poo.
That's right.
Okay.
No, like I say, if you're a vampire, it's your job to just let vampires go extinct.
Jesus. My God.
I don't want to be around the same person for more than 50 years.
No, like, what the fuck do they want? Why are they doing this?
Ow.
It's not like humans doing their thing.
Oh, maybe they don't have a choice. Maybe it's not like, I'm gonna mark this person. Maybe they're just like, actually,
I got
like,
a
they're called
hankering to mark.
trackers. So maybe instead of being like, oh, you're a vampire now, they're just like, oh, there you are.
This is your
You're
function.
the one who's becoming a vampire soon. And maybe, like, when they come into contact with them, it's when it awakens.
Oh, that makes sense.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm so good at fixing things that are bad.
Yeah, too bad PC and Kristen Caston write that.
Yeah, too bad. Okay, where was I? Life shakeup, and that's only if the whole process didn't kill me. Great. I didn't want to do either. I just wanted to attempt to be normal, despite the burden of my mega-conservative parents, my troll-like younger brother, and my oh-so-perfect older sister that we never hear about ever again. I wanted to pass geometry. I wanted to keep my grades up so that I could get accepted into the veterinary college at OSU and get out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. But most of all, I wanted to fit in. At least at school. Home had become hopeless, so all I was left with were my friends and my life away from my family. Now that was being taken away from me, too. I rubbed my forehead and then messed with my hair until it semi-covered my eyes, and with any luck, the mark that had appeared above them. Keeping my head ducked down like I was fascinated with the goo that had somehow formed in my purse, I hurried toward the door that led to the student parking lot, but I stopped short of going outside. Through the side-by-side windows and the institutional-looking doors, I could see Heath. Girls flocked around him, posing and flipping their hair, while guys revved ridiculously big pickup trucks and tried, but mostly failed, to look cool. Doesn't it figure that I would choose that to be attracted to?
The guys with pickup trucks.
No, to be fair to myself, I should remember that Heath used to be incredibly sweet, and even now he had his moments. Mostly when he bothered to be sober. She never said anything bad about Heath in that whole thing, you're right.
I'm starting a new campaign called Poor Heath.
Oh, yeah,
all donations offered
there
goes to Alcoholics Anonymous. In the name of Heath from
the House of Night.
The House of Night.
What's his last name? I wonder if I don't
It's just
remember.
Heath. He's just Heath.
It's just Heath.
Heath from the House of Night. All funds, all proceeds go to Alcoholics Anonymous to help them learn to stop drinking.
Okay, here we go. But yeah, there are actually good characters in here, but like they're treated like
they're
shit.
painted poorly.
Yeah, like it
Hashtag
sucks
poor
because
Heath.
I'd rather be paying attention to these characters. But
I want to know
not.
more about my bad teeth nerd.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
That's
mentioned
it.
again.
My boy.
Let's give him a name. I feel like Cody's good.
Cody is good. I like that. Okay, here we go.
Cody's the name of one of my brothers.
Oh.
Right.
And that's wild because I don't know if I'm his mom, his sister, or his wife. And that sounds a lot like Oklahoma. So
We're not gonna name your either son or brother or husband after your real life brother. We'll call him Noah.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
Noah.
here we go. High-pitched girl giggles flitted to me from the parking lot. Oh my god.
Also, I just like to point out, she said flipping their hair as if they just kept going.
I do that, but that's just me.
Headbanging.
Like, repeatedly, though.
What was all in the early 2000s? System of the Down?
Oh, yeah. System of the Down. Okay, here we go.
I just got Ursh named Noah Dusty.
No, Dusty's cute, though. Fuck! That's his nickname because he has dusty little hands because he's a little worker boy.
I was a chess boy.
He has dusty little hands. Anyway.
Dust boy.
Dust boy.
Give me your water.
You want my water?
Yeah,
Stop eating candy.
I can't.
I don't get to eat candy. I
need to
read.
nosh.
She doesn't have that willpower.
High-pitched girl giggles flitted to me from the parking lot. Great. Kathy Richer, the biggest hoe in school,
Whoa.
was pretending to smack Heath. Even from where I was standing, it was obvious she thought hitting him was some kind of mating ritual. As
It is.
usual,
You live in a world with vampires, and that's just normal. And you have vampires that go to a vampire school. Vampires eat blood.
That's a mating ritual, bitch.
You guys are cattle. You're livestock, and you let this happen. So who's to say it's not normal to fucking beat each other?
Gotta make sure your mate's strong enough to protect themselves from the vampires.
But he's the alcoholic mind. I'm gonna go add that to. Okay, that's great.
Oh,
Not only did they call her a hoe,
oh yeah.
Oh no.
they painted her as a hoe. They said, "Oh, she's so stupid. She thinks it's a mating ritual."
Flirting with someone, I mean, is a mating ritual. She flirts that way, stuffing an ass. Anyway.
Yeah, I bet this bitch is gonna hit someone.
As usual, clueless Heath was just standing there grinning. Well, hell, my day just wasn't going to get any better, and there sat my Robin's Egg Blue 1966 VW.
That's a flex.
Bug, right in the middle of them. No, I couldn't go out there. I couldn't walk into the middle of all of them with this thing on my forehead. I'd never be able to be part of them again. I already knew too well what they'd do. I remember the last kid a tracker had chosen it. SIHS.
It was Timmy Turner.
Did they just have
I don't know why. I just got a strong vibe that it was Timmy Turner.
I don't
I actually just imagined him with his stupid hat running away like,
Mr. Crocker was real pumped. He's like, "That's right, Timmy."
So it says.
I wish I was a vampire.
So it says that the tracker chose them, but like she was already sick before the tracker got there anyway. So I think that my
Your theory
was correct.
I think your theory makes more sense. I don't know if it's correct.
Okay, so it happened at the beginning of the school year last year. The tracker had come before school started and had targeted the kid as he was walking to his first hour. I didn't see the tracker, but I did see the kid afterward, for just a second. After he dropped his books and ran out of the building, his new mark glowing on his cheeks. Cheeks. On his pale... I saw cheeks underneath it. On his pale forehead and tears washing down his 2 white cheeks. I never forgot how crowded the halls had been that morning, and how everyone had backed away from him like he had the plague.
Why is everything pale or white?
As he rushed to escape out the front doors of the school.
Whitewashing.
Because you usually... because paling and being white is either a sign of being a vampire. Or
dead.
Being, a dead.
Emo.
Or being emo.
Yeah,
Where did emo come from?
She
Lolo
diss
said it.
on emo people when it sounds like all she is trying to be emo?
She's the worst. Let's keep going.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Okay, I had been one of those kids who had backed out of his way and stared, even though I'd felt really sorry for him. I just hadn't wanted to be labeled as that one girl who's friends with those freaks.
No,
sort of ironic now, isn't it?
Inconvenience to her.
Yeah, that's true. That's
She only has 2 friends.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Instead of going to my car, I headed for the nearest restroom, which was thankfully empty. There were 3 stalls. Yes, I double-checked each for feet.
I didn't ask.
Well, now you know, so shut up. On one wall were 2 sinks over which hung 2 medium-sized mirrors. Across from the sinks, the opposite wall was covered with a huge mirror that had a ledge below it for holding brushes and makeup and whatnot.
I don't care.
I put my purse and my geometry book on the ledge, took a deep breath, and in one motion, lifted my head and brushed back my hair.
Does it take that much motion to do
Just
that?
like, bleh. It was like staring into the face of a familiar stranger. You know, that person you see in a crowd and swear you know, but you really don't. Now she was me, the familiar stranger. She had my eyes. They were the same hazel color that could never decide whether it wanted to be green or brown. But my eyes had never been that big and round, or had they? She had my hair, long and straight, and almost as dark as my grandma's had been before hers had begun to turn silver. The stranger had my high cheekbones, long, strong nose, and wide mouth, more features from my grandma and her Cherokee ancestors. But my face had never been that pale. I'd always been olivish, much darker skin than anyone else in my family. Maybe it just looked pale in comparison to the dark blue outline of the crescent moon that was perfectly positioned in the middle of my forehead. Or maybe it was the horrid fluorescent lighting. I hoped it was the lighting. I stared at the exotic-looking tattoo, mixed with my strong Cherokee features that seemed to brand me with a mark of wildness, ellipses. As if I belonged to ancient times when the world was bigger, ellipses. More barbaric. From this day on, my life would never be the same, and for a moment, just an instant, I forgot about the horror of not belonging and felt a shocking burst of pleasure, while deep inside of me, the blood of my grandmother's people rejoiced.
So
End of
did
chapter
you-
1.
Did you catch that?
She's not white.
She's not,
white,
but
it's worse.
the authors are white, and they're talking about the Cherokee features being stronger with the mark, and how it makes her seem wild and barbaric.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, not a fun thing to see.
That's what you should
Avoid.
Not
That's
do.
all of the stereotypes you should not use.
Exactly. Okay, so we're at
That's
the
like
end.
that's like going up to a white person and being like, "Oh, look at Starbucks."
I bet you want some of that.
Oh, hey, there's a baseball game on.
So you want to go watch baseball? White. Anyway, but yeah.
Look at there in Walmart.
Oh my god.
I'll see you in Target.
See you later. But yep, so that's the end of chapter 1. Lolo.
Does she have DID?
Oh my god. I don't know. Why do you ask?
The way she's describing herself, it just I have this inkling of a feeling maybe she's gonna like branch off.
Maybe she's gonna become 2 different people. No, she
She's
doesn't have DID. She's just like, ooh. Because the whole thing is that she has this abusive house life. So now she's like, oh, I get to leave, and that's it. Like, I don't know why she's being so dramatic about it. She only has 2 friends that she's really close to,
and one of them only wants her for her rides.
And like that familiar
Allegedly.
stranger thing was it was just supposed to be her being like, wow, I look so different with this thing. I'm so pretty and barbaric.
I'm paler. They're whitewashing. This is, in like the early 1900s. They set up all these camps and they took Indian children and they fucking taught them to be white. Like they beat them if they used their native language. They cut their hair, which was a sign of shame to their culture. And they were like, your name is this, now it's Steve.
Oh, it's just like that one time in Assassin's Creed.
I don't want to talk about Assassin's Creed. I love Assassin's Creed so much. But, yeah. Bad. I get a bad book. Sticky book.
What was the goo in her purse?
There was no goo.
I always wondered,
Faith's always like,
goo.
whoa, what? But that's just like her being like, oh, there's something in my purse.
Also, genetics. How is she darker than all of her family?
I don't know.
I think genetically that doesn't work.
I'm paler than my family, and I have lighter eyes than everybody, though. So,
but
I mean, get that it's a little
that's
different.
expected.
Yeah, but that's just one person.
And she's just one person, though. Like, she's the only one.
Basic high school science class. What I learned about genetics is it's like, let's say one parent is African American and the other one's Asian. They normally blend the color. Like, the kids come out with, like, a mix of your color.
Yeah.
So they'll either come out lighter or...
Well, all of this isn't too dark either, though. It's a little darker than, like, white. Like, I think if we were to compare our skin, like, this would be... Like, your color would be the same color as her family. And then my color is just a little darker.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it's not too much of a difference.
Yeah.
So it's not too much of a difference. So I think the genetic thing is fine. It's whatever, because I do relate to being lighter than the rest of my family.
But she's darker than the rest of her
so like, I wonder if that's different.
If she was lighter, that would... I just think... Maybe one of you. No.
Yeah, maybe... Somebody who knows more about genetics.
I'm not taking the time out of my day to look this
research
up.
it.
But if it's commented, I will look at it.
If somebody who knows more about genetics could please help us.
Translate.
Translate genetics, please and thanks.
I just feel like
it's a little
maybe, perchance, possibly, something isn't correct
Something
is afoot.
Okay.
Also, her parents are conservative.
I don't think it's a religion thing. I think she's just like, they're controlling. Like, that's the word she's using for controlling.
That's a religion
She
thing.
called them
Is it a
conservative
religion
parents.
thing? Oh my god, that's right! Okay. That's coming up.
Jump right in. Okay.
All right. Well.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
So, I think that's all of Lolo's questions
and
yeah.
thoughts.
for chapter 1.
Are there any questions and thoughts you guys have that I won't be able to answer?
Definitely
No,
not.
I've read this book a lot.
I've read this book.
Any commentary?
Yeah,
It's bad.
PC and Kristen Cass should fight me.
PC and Kristen Cass.
This is a call-out post.
Alright.
Alright.
Meet me behind Denny's, both of you. I'll take you down in 2 seconds.
And I'm not going to Oklahoma. If you're gonna be behind Denny's, it better be in America.
It better be fucking
Fucking, what's it?
California.
Yeah, California.
In America, Oklahoma
Oh, I
is a
just
totally
got that.
independent country.
I think Oklahoma's in Texas.
Is it? Where's Oklahoma?
I think it's in Texas.
Oh, I hope.
No, Oklahoma's a state.
It's a state.
Yes! Oh my god!
I don't give a fuck about Oklahoma.
Okay, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, they're all fucking racist, and they're not
Alabama.
going anywhere near them.
They're all the
southern
same.
region.
They're all just Texas, and Texas.
Big Texas, small Texas,
Slightly
medium
larger.
Texas, darker than usual on the map Texas,
Diet Texas.
Diet.
They're all Texas.
Sugar-free Texas.
And then you
But
got Nebraska. And that's corn, Texas.
Jesus.
California's beach Texas.
California's not Texas. If you ever call it Texas again, I'll kill you.
Okay, so
Let's just jump right out.
just jump right out.
Alright, well, I mean, that concludes chapter 1 of
A House of Night novel. First installment marked
by PC Cass.
and Kristen Cass.
Wow, are they married?
No,
No,
they're
they're
mother-daughter.
mother-daughter.
I forgot
Oh,
to say that.
So they're not mother, aunt, daughter.
Yeah, they're mother-daughter.
I'm just trying to make sure it's Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah, so PC Cass mom, and then Kristen Cass daughter.
Okay, yeah.
They're the worst.
I wouldn't want to write a romance story with my mom. I wouldn't be like, hey, Mom.
Right, that'd be so weird. And then like things get like kind of sexual too. So it's
Hey,
like,
Mom,
especially
when
when
when she's going down on him, do you think she should like rub the base too?
yeah, hey
Or-
mom, do you want to come write this smut with me?
Will you edit my smut?
Mom, should I use penis or dick?
Well, I'm
Or-
assuming the mom's the author.
Oh yeah.
So what is she like? Like,
Hey,
is she
daughter.
grading
No.
it like a paper?
Yeah, just listen.
Oh yeah, read it to us.
At the
Read us-
beginning, right?
Oh yeah, read us the thing.
We heart you, shut up. Right here.
An acknowledgement.
I like to think of them. Okay. Here we go. I also want to thank my fabulous daughter, Kristen, for making sure we sound like teenagers. I couldn't have done it without you. In parentheses, she made me write that. PC. I want to thank my lovely ma'am, better known as PC, for being such an unbelievably talented author and so easy to work with. In parentheses, okay, she made me write that.
They
hate
both
each
sound
other.
like hostages. I don't know which one's
They're
holding.
both holding guns
Yeah.
at each other, like write it, write
Right.
They're like, please don't make me. And they're like, please don't. But you gotta do, please, no. You
Okay,
gotta do
it's
it.
your turn to write the
please.
book.
No, Mom, I don't want to.
I don't want
Mom,
to either.
Mom, write it.
I don't want to either.
Mom. Write the book.
So okay, so that was the wonderful, perfect
Flawless.
House of Night.
I hate
chapter
you, and
1.
I'm stopping it before you say anything else.
Okay, bye. Okay,
wait,
bye.
wait. If you liked that, you can just go and smash that like button. Or, I mean, if you hated it because we're
You can
annoying.
smash the like button again.
Or the dislike button, we'll take it.
Or
Don't-
you could just subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and keep up with our chat.
Oh wait,
channel.
I want comments
Yeah, I want to know what you think.
about
What if-
Zoe.
Yeah,
Oh,
what if you
yeah.
guys love this book and you just sat through like what? This is so far an hour for us. It's probably gonna be like what 40 minutes for you.
Yeah.
You just sat through probably like 40 minutes of us talking shit about this book that you might like genuinely love.
Yeah, leave a hate comment.
Yeah, hate us.
Or if you loved it before and now you realize that it's shitty, tell us.
Leave a love comment
that you like that we hate it, because we like when people hate what we hate.
Be like, oh my god, I can't believe how crap that book was. I used to read it.
That's how I was. I liked it when I first started. I was like 13
I just remembered why I thought the kid was Timmy Turner.
Why?
I think maybe this is supposed to be for 13.
Yeah, it's for kids, I assume. But hey,
it's for young adults.
I'm gonna make fun of it.
I'm a young adult.
I'm a young adult, and I'm gonna make fun of it.
What constitutes a young adult?
This is still a better love story than Twilight.
Take it back.
Take it back.
I actually like Twilight because of this book. I was like, wow. I actually like Bella.
You just wait until we get to that fucking house tonight and you be the token characters.
Yeah, you're barely in the first chapter. It's okay.
I finished the first chapter.
You're barely in the second chapter.
I'm not in the second chapter.
You're barely going into the second chapter.
Well, you just gotta wait and see, and so do you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.